Let's go down memory row.
Memory lane?
Memory lane.
Okay.
Memory lane.
He doesn't know any words.
I don't know any words.
Frascoisms. I want to do a Frascoisms book.
He only knows
And
genitals. And
I asked
memory.
I asked Bo to actually write down some of the shit that you say because you combine so many
Oh, yeah.
words.
I'm such a fucking idiot.
Dude, but
That's
that's
the new
a
album.
legit
Memory
book.
Row, dude.
All right, we're live. Andy Frasco's World Saving Podcast. Yes. How we doing, everybody? How's our heads? How's our minds? Are we staying out of trouble? Are we staying hot? What did Alan Jackson say? I mean, he wasn't lying when he said it's hotter than a hoochie coochie out here because it is fucking hot, man. We finally got a heat wave. I'm out here in Jackson Hole, which is actually really beautiful. Shout out to Jackson Hole. What a vibe out here. Way out yonder in the Chattanooga when the hoochie coochie. But all is well. I'm gonna keep this opening short because we have big gigantic. Our boys, one of my closest friends in the whole world, Jeremy Salken, and his bandmate Dominic Lalli, just put out a new record, and we want to promote it because that's what we do. We're a family in this music industry, and when people put out records that we love and we cherish, and we want to give them that Frasco World Saving Podcast bump if we can, if there's any bump. But speaking of bumps, I haven't done cocaine all week. Let's fucking go. I'm clapping that. My ear's getting better. It's amazing. Yeah, I haven't really like crave it or anything. You know, it's crazy. I didn't realize, I think what was rooting with my ear, getting all nasty and shit, is because I've been partying. And the minute I stop partying, my ear is back and ready to rock. So shout out to fucking anatomy. Shout out to health. This is the first time I finally feel back. It's been a fucking 4 months of just not knowing if I had like a tumor or, I basically had a yeast infection in my ear. I'm like a dog. They gave me these drops that they put when the females get a little yeast infection in the vahuha. They're putting that in my ear, and it's working. So shout out to not having yeast infection. Let's go. Woo! Feeling crazy. But yeah, we got Big G on the podcast. I love them, and this new record's really good. And they're featuring our boys, Little Stranger. So it's gonna be a blast. I think you're gonna love it. But also, I want to talk about our sponsors. First off, Volume.com. Yes. Only Frasco is coming up, and it's kicking ass. Thank you so much for subscribing to it. It's been amazing to see just the reaction we're getting from it. You guys are loving the content. We're giving out some intimate content, and I basically what we're about to announce is I filmed a whole new record in EP, and I'm still working on it. I finished 4 songs, but you're going to be getting inside scoop of what it's like to be in the studio with the band, with me producing it, my crazy ass. We're also doing something a little fun with it. We're going into the studio. Shout out to East Iris in Nashville. Shout out to Volume for setting up this weird. I had this vision for so long to do this. And they said, yeah, let's fucking do it. Whatever you want. I'm like, that's why I love you. That's why you're the best partners. But they told me. So I'm like, hey, I want to go into a studio blind. I had no idea, no creativity. I have nothing pre-planned. I want to go in there with a songwriter and try to write a song the first 3 hours and then give myself a 10-hour day to kind of like fully produce the song. Because it's like anything. When we start overthinking our thing, we're always go back to the first idea we have on the song. So when you have this idea, when you're being creative or whatever it is, even if you're like thinking about what to say to someone, we always, as humans, we always end up, when we overthink things and we keep on adding these other things, I feel like most of the time we go back to that first gut feeling we had about it. So I'm going to test that theory and make a whole record with my first gut on something. It's awesome. It's these Nashville sessions. And then I've recorded 4 songs, and the next 2 songs, I'm bringing the band in there, and we're going to try to do the same concept with the band, give you a 6-song EP. We'll be releasing each song on Volume.com, and a little documentary for each song. So we have like 10 hours of footage, because we were recording live and they had 8 cameras. It's really beautiful too. Chris from Volume just fucking crushed the directing on it. I'm really excited to see the edits. And we're just going to keep building content for you. I mean, once a month, you're going to get a live stream from us. You're going to get this special documentary from us. But also, you're also going to get, like, when the band's on tour, we'll try to give you some live shows and try to give you, like, a little inside scoop inside the world of the UN. So head to volume.com/Andy Frasco and subscribe. It's only $5 a month. I went to I got a cup of coffee. I've been getting coffee, so I like coffee again. I finally been taking these, like, digestive pills, so I'm like, I don't feel bloated, so now I can drink coffee and not feel I'm gonna, like, fucking go crazy. It's like when you get a stomach ache and then you're on fucking caffeine, you just feel fucking crazy. But my body's finally, like, adjusting. I'm finally like, damn, it took a long time to get that fixed, but now I'm slowly coming back. I don't know. Oh, coffee. It was $7 for a double, for a quad espresso. You're like, Frasco, why are you drinking a quad espresso? Well, I only want a double, but everyone's putting 2 shots of it. I'm like, I can't say no. I'm like, fuck it. Crack me out, baby. Especially I'm trying not to do blow. I'm like, put that coffee in me, yeah. But head over there. And then we have a great new sponsor too, Gardenista. Gardenista is the best. Shout out to Jason Mers. I know sometimes we like to fight with each other over just because we love each other. So if you're listening, Jason, you better start calling me when you're in town and not just think I'm just going to show up thinking like I have your location. You have my location now. So if I'm in Denver, you're in Denver. Come on. Blah, 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 blah. That's inside baseball. Gardenista. I'm starting to drink these green juices. I like green juice. And like, I've been drinking green juice every day and I kind of feel good. Kind of helps with my digestion. So I was like, fuck it. I might as well take that green juice philosophy and put it into my alcoholism. Hell yeah, let's go. Gotta stay healthy, people. Gotta stay healthy. So Gardenista it's a green juice cocktail, and they have all different flavors. They have vodka, they have gin. I like the gin one. I'm starting to become a gin guy, which is nice. And with the green juice and gin cocktail, it's kind of nice. I mean, I think that's like meant to be. But also, he's starting getting creative with the juices. There's like a spicy tequila green juice one that's really good, and then there's a whiskey one where you think like, oh, that wouldn't work, but it actually fucking works. So grab Gardenista. I'm telling you, I'm not just blowing smoke up your ass because they're paying us. I really do believe in this product. And Jason, he understands. He moved from Deep Eddy to this company, and we used to be sponsored by Deep Eddy and stuff. And he's the first one. I believe in this product. So I'm like, all right, I believe in you. And then once I tried the product, I'm like, God damn, that's actually pretty fucking bomb. So I'm in. I'm full blown. I'm drinking the sauce. So head over and grab. If you see Gardenista in your local liquor store, go grab it. Just try it. I think start with the gin or start with the vodka one if you don't want to get too creative. But I'm telling you, do not front. The whiskey green juice is actually pretty flames. So grab yourself some Gardenista. All right, guys. Next week I'm bringing in the band. We're gonna have a little powwow with the whole band. You're gonna love it. We got a lot of new guys. Andrew Cooney's in our band now. I want to hear his partake on how he likes it. We have Richie, who fills in with Floyd. He's with us right now. I want to see what he thinks of it. Trevor, our merch guy. I mean, there's a lot of people that are new into the band, and the West Coast tours are kind of weird for us because we're not that popular. So like, one night we'll play for like 5,000 people, 7,000 people at these big old concert series. And then the second night we're in Cheyenne, there's 120 people. So it's like a very humbling thing, but that's the part of the road. You can't have, it's like, it's the growing pains. This is why I wrote that record. We're not like super big rock stars yet. I'm going to say yet because I'm putting that into our intuition. You got to put it fruition, baby. You got to believe in the shit that you're doing. So, but I have to go back to the West Coast. I've spent so much energy on the Northeast and the Midwest. I kind of forget my brothers and sisters out on the West Coast. So I am here to tell you that next year I am going to be full on dedicated to get my ass to the West Coast. So we could build that too. I'm here for everybody, not just the Northeast and the South and the Midwest. I want to be there for the West Coast people who need me too. So, in this band. All right, guys. So so it's been humbling to see like going from 5,000 to 7,000 people shows. Like, whoa. Then you walk into this 200 cap room at the Mangy Moose. So I'm like, okay, cool, okay. Your shit don't stink as much. Your shit stinks a little more than you thought, Frasco, but gotta stay humble. All right, guys, I love you. Big Gigantic, new record. I'm really proud of the guys. They got Little Stranger on it. They got a bunch of cool collabs. And, it's Jeremy Salken, one of my best friends. So I'm here to support anything he does. Enjoy the Big G interview, and I will catch you next week with the band. And then Nick's going to do a solo. Yeah, we got a whole bunch of podcasts. Shout out to everyone who listened to the Nick and Andy episode. We got on the charts again. So thank you. I know you like those Nick and Andy episodes. And, thinking of Nick, he's having some personal issues right now, and I'm just want to send love my way to him. All right, guys, love you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Wow. I have a personal relationship with both of you. I get to have this relationship together, and this is nice. Big Gigantic, how you doing?
Hey, good. How you doing?
What up?
What's something that pisses you off about both of you guys?
Wow,
Jeremy, you go
going
first.
Right in.
Jeremy, you
What?
go first.
Ah, Jesus Christ.
How we doing, boys? New record. Feeling good?
Yeah, feeling good.
Yeah.
Feeling good. It's an exciting week.
What is the recipe to keep a band together for this long?
Good question. Just, it's, like I was mentioning in this, how's this book, Mamba Mentality?
Yeah.
It's like that kind of, I think it's that kind of a thing. I mean, it's a lot of things, but, it just takes, it's constant, grinding, you do it,
Right.
it's just staying in it, working hard. It's trust in the process, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
It applies to probably lots of things in life, but that's one big part of it is just being in there every day, working on it every day. We're trying to get better, putting in the time, and just not worrying about how are we going to stay relevant, but just like let me just keep at it.
How many records have you guys done together now?
I think it's 8.
Yeah.
I think this is 8.
There's a good amount. Yeah.
8
It's
records.
kind of crazy.
That's fucking insane. Like, because I remember in the younger years, like your help running the budgets, your help getting this thing popping off while
Yeah.
you're working on the music and
Mhm.
stuff. Just teach me a little bit about how you're managing the band a little bit. Like who runs point, who like it's like the same thing Kobe. Like I think of my band as a point guard, I run the budget, I make sure Sean runs all like the little segments inside the songs,
Yeah, I would say like, if you're talking big picture of everything, I mean, we have kind of the same team. I mean, we've just been doing it for a long time, right? So it's like, what, 20 years now or something like that almost?
17.
17?
Almost
fucking
20.
years, dude.
17.
2008, so
and-
whatever that
and,
equals.
And the first year wasn't with Ben, but we've had, the same sort of like, guts of the team the whole time. So that helps in terms of running the whole thing, like, and Jeremy knows what he's doing and I know what I'm doing and Ben knows what he's doing. Now we have another manager because we lost our day-to-day. So now we have a second manager.
Right.
So they kind of integrated, but they're a real management company, Red Light. So it's like they have a whole thing. So I guess we've just understood what needs to happen to make it happen. You know what I mean? Like you need this, you got to have this, you got to have this. And then there's, and now 9 months ago it was like, okay, like now we need new music because this thing isn't just going to, keep churning itself. So then I have to get back in the lab, take all the demos, figure out what the next iteration is going to be. And then it's like executed, and we just kind of keep doing that process. At the same time, you can't just, it's not this is the process, X, Y, Z, and then you do it every time. All of the variables change the whole time.
Yeah.
So you have to, the scene's changing, the fans are changing, this is changing, that. It's not like this anymore. Touring's not like it was 10 years ago. All the things. So how do we now retool. Okay, we know X needs to happen, but now X looks like this. It doesn't look like that anymore. So now how are we going to reinvent X? Okay, now here's Y. Same thing. You know, how are we going to reinvent Y, Z? Same. You know, where it goes with everything. So, you know, you got to be in for it and want to do it, you know, and then do it.
People don't realize like how much it takes to keep a band relevant. And then you don't realize we got to keep our personal relationship relevant, right? Because we're thinking about everything else, and we forget like, oh yeah, we're humans, you know?
Right, right, yeah, yeah. And I have a family, you know, I have a kid, I have a wife. That you know, I'm trying to be a good husband, a good father, and all those things involved in it all.
So my question is, how do you fucking have time for all this, boys?
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't
know.
I don't have, you know, I have like my family and then I make music and do big G stuff.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. Like,
I don't do it. I don't go out, or I don't like, you know, I don't have like friends or anything.
Yeah, like,
you know what I mean?
Did like having a kid in some way give you more time to work on music? Because you like have to be home where your studio is?
No.
I'm just wondering.
No.
I've always wondered about that.
But the time that I do have, which is all the other time that I'm not hanging out with my family, my kid, is like, you know, there's no bullshitting. You know, you don't bullshit anymore. With your time. You know,
Right.
It's just
It's
all
meaningful.
like I am like a laser all the time.
Well, like
Purpose.
that's the exact thing. It's like, instead of like waiting for the vessel to fucking happen when you're making music, it's like, I have to have this vessel open right now because this kid needs to take a shit in an hour. You know?
Yeah.
So how do you
Time management.
but
Dom's always been good with time management.
but it's like, it's the pro shit. It's the Kobe thing.
Yeah.
Turn on.
Yeah.
And you know your craft.
Yeah.
And you turn on. It's like the same. I watched Jeremy for years making budgets and fucking working on. He taught me points. I am a point guru now. We will talk about that.
I got you health insurance, dude.
You got me health
I figured out
insurance?
health insurance.
I mean, like, you need every side of a partnership, right?
Yeah.
For the music, for the business side. My question is like, how do you know when it's a good song? When you're like forced to open the vessel every day, you know?
Yeah, I think it's same with you. You know, that's all gut.
Yeah.
You know, and even when you're like, I think this is the greatest song I've ever written, and then, you know, it's part of the ups and downs of being the writer, the songwriter, and putting yourself out there. It's like you're like, this is the one, and then it like flops, you know, and you're like, okay, wow, well, I thought it was the one. You know, it sucks. It just is, you know, it just is what it is. But that's why, you know, Kobe thing again, where you just show up every day. You go to the gym every day. You get there early. You stay late. You do all those things, and then like when it all happens, okay, like, yeah, it kind of sucks because you thought it was going to be the one or whatever, but you're not, because you're not too fazed by it. I mean, obviously you're human, so you get a little fazed by it, but you know, you're just in the gym again the next day. So it's like, it's all part of the process.
Another day in the office. Yeah. It's so fascinating because you know more about production than I do, Nick.
You're more of a writer.
I'm more of a writer. I could see the bones of it. When you guys are writing and like you're making an album, what are like the first things you think about? Beat, melody, like what? Give me the in and out process of how Big G writes a song.
Always different.
Yeah.
Always different. Yeah, because sometimes it's sometimes I get like a demo, and I'm like, ooh, I love the vocals, and I just take the vocals, and then I'm like, I don't know. And then I start and then I hear what the chords are, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to use those chords. So like, how can I rewrite, 2-5-1 in a different way or whatever, you know? And so there's that. Then sometimes I'm inspired by another song. So I'm like, I love the drums on this. So I try to make some drums. And then, after listening, I'm like, oh, here's some chords, stuff like that.
When do you start bringing Jeremy into the process?
I
after
just
the
come in
song's
live.
over.
Yeah, Tom
I go,
right.
there's some video. Why won't we make a video?
When it's time to book hotels.
When it's time for planning the tour.
Yeah.
No, Dom writes the music. That's been the process. Yeah.
It's so crazy. It's a lot of pressure. It's
He's
all
got
in your
the
hand.
spirit, dude. He's got the spirit within him.
Having defined roles is an advantage, though.
What?
Like this guy does this. Like there's
I think
no
it helped
cloudiness.
us out a lot, especially in the beginning. Because like,
Right.
dude, how many bands do you know where like there's multiple people doing the same thing? They're
True.
fighting over it, and they
Right.
just end up like exploding because
many
they're like,
clips.
"But I want to do this." And early on, I was like, "This dude is like, he's channeling this shit from somewhere. Who am I to be like, yeah, but I want to say this and whatever."
Right.
And I'm like, roll with it. And I think about other bands where, you know, whether it's The Who or Fish or whatever, like Trey wrote
Right.
90-something% of the songs,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and with The Who, it was all like Pete Townsend. And if somebody's like got that within them, it's you like your job as a bandmate, I think, in a lot of ways is to like set them up for success and be like, yeah, run with it, because especially when we were doing it on our own, there's like 100 other freaking things that need to get done for us
Right.
to do whatever. And it's like, why
That's what I'm
stifle
saying.
him? Because my ego is like, yeah, but I need to write a drum beat that's whatever.
Right.
His drum beats are dope. I'm happy to play them any day,
Yeah.
always. I love them. The songs are good. He, like I said, if he's got the spirit within him, let
This
it
is why you're one of my best friends.
happen.
Only one guy
This
can
is why
drive.
you are one of my best friends. Because you understand talent and what needs to happen. This is I've always respected out
I'm
of
always
you.
figuring things out.
No, but I've always
You're giving me
respected
too
that
much
about
credit,
you.
but-
No, for real. Like you taught me how to fucking clean my house when I had nothing. I didn't know how
we
to
went to Costco for the
You're
first
always
time.
cleaning.
I mean, yeah.
He taught me how to clean.
Damn.
I moved here during COVID. This is the best story for Jeremy.
I was Jeremy's roommate too, so he also taught me how to clean.
Let's
No,
go.
John was
clap
John was already a
Pretty
cleaner.
good roommate.
We were both very clean roommates.
I'd be Dom's
actually.
roommate. Actually, you got an empty room right now. I'm just kidding.
You can be
we,
Nico's
we rolled
roommate.
into
Nick and
Costco right when COVID happened. I'm like, he's like, I just bought my house right before COVID. And I'm like, I was like courting Jeremy to be my friend because I was I really did. I felt
This is
I've always
pre-Gerlach.
That's
wanted.
so funny.
This is pre-Gerlach. I've always wanted Jeremy to be my friend because I just loved his aura, and he's just a smart dude, and I get what you see in his brilliance. And I'm a new friend to you, but I've known him forever, and I just to see. And then I'm starting to learn about the band business and stuff. He doesn't tell me anything like that, but just how you guys work, simpatico. But he taught me how to fucking clean. And I put 2 gloves on. We went to Costco and didn't realize
That
how
was
much he
hard
loves
at COVID.
Costco.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And just taught me how to, I don't know. I think he taught me how to be a better friend because you taught me to
Wow.
be accountable to making an effort to do things. And for that, I thank you. I know this is a gush part.
Wow.
Schmaltz.
Thanks, dude.
But
Love you, buddy. Love you, buddy.
I love you, buddy.
Yeah, seriously.
And like, you're very smart,
You're
dude.
always cleaning now, though.
But like, you guys are like a tag team because like his brilliance runs one way and your fucking brilliance runs a different way. And together, it's pretty unstoppable.
Yeah.
So my
I feel
question
like
is,
if you
what
had
does
two of
Ben
the same,
do?
I mean, he's the third part of the triangle. Like it literally brings us together in a lot of ways, and has always done that.
I know.
Where,
It's,
like-
you guys are such a good team partnership together, and it's been like that for years.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, and we have like second manager too,
Yeah,
so they're
Brandon's
kind of
amazing,
both
too.
working on it, and they work hard, through the they work super hard, and they do a lot, and even through the through my music process, they're a very integral part. Collaborations, just all kinds of random shit that they
Right.
do, but it's important to have them as involved as they are, and they do a great job, and all the way through the music stuff that I'm doing, all the way obviously through the touring and just things we don't even think about that they're just really on top of.
I want
Some
to
of their parts.
I want to talk about your brain a little more, Dom, because I never get time with you.
Sure.
I get time with you.
Yeah.
Give me a couple
Too
more
much
minutes
time.
with Dom before I talk about you.
Absolutely.
Derek.
Okay.
Human spreadsheet.
Just sit over here.
Yeah, the human spreadsheet.
Spreadsheet.
Dude, that should be your
He's
like
literally the
Instagram.
human spreadsheet.
Yeah,
That's a compliment. by
I'm
the
gonna
way.
steal my friend's line. I'm a beast in the sheets.
I'm a beast in the shit.
The
Not that
spreadsheet.
way, though,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Wow.
So Dom, so when you're writing music, when does your brain click that this rapper, this singer, this collab happens? Does it happen right away, or does it happen kind of in the process of creativity?
Mostly in the process. Yeah, I'd say mostly in the process, and it's such a weird, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like an always on thing where it's like I'm working on stuff and I'm just thinking about the whole thing as how am I gonna take this thing to the next level, and if it's a singer, I'm thinking like I love this person's voice, or I want to collab with this person because or whatever, or I have these lyrics and a melody and who's gonna sing it, or so it's just always evolving. I don't know, it's always evolving kind of a thing, and just always trying to keep my finger on the pulse with the whole project. Right.
Because one of the fucking collabs who's fucking huge now is Ash.
Yeah.
Right. Dude, now she's with Finnegan.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Where did you find her? Like, how was that process?
Well, she was like, and this was a while ago too. This was probably, we worked on that song like in 18, maybe 19, 18, something like that. But she was kind of a little bit more in the electronic scene when she first came in, and she was doing some songs with like that guy Max, and he was part of a group called Party Pupils, so they were doing some stuff. Weathen, another electronic producer, Louis the Child, so they were all kind of doing some stuff. And then that's how I kind of got linked up with her, and she's just a super sweetheart. Met her one day, she came in the studio, and this was it all the same? No, it was a different record, but she came in the studio, we hit it off, and she just a great person and super easy to work with. So made that song with her. She came out and did that. She did Red Rocks with us with that song, and did a couple other things. She did Coachella with us one time, and then just kind of her whole thing took off.
Did you knew she was gonna be a star like that?
Knew she had the potential,
Right.
but then it just kind of popped.
So she's special. I'm so happy. We're so stoked for her, and to see what where she's gone. I mean, her career was like blew up, and now the thing with Finnegan with Phineas.
Dude, I saw that.
Finnegan.
I was like, this is like
they've been buddies for a while, but that's like it's just cool, man. She's a G. She's really and so sweet.
All right, another question. Well, I have the goat here.
Yeah.
The goat.
You were one of the goats, Dom. You know that, right?
No, man.
I mean, he praises you. He praises your production.
Don't tell him to his face that I think he's good.
You are one of the goats, Dom. You're a production goat.
Just trying.
He's a G.
Okay.
And saxophone goat. You're not even talking about how good of a saxophone.
Oh, we'll
player.
talk about that in a second. Because I saw a video you rocking on Pretty Lights at fucking Red Rock.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about that process
That was
too.
a big moment.
But because we've already had you guys on, so they know the backstory.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the relationship. I want to talk about the brotherhood.
Yeah.
Do you kiss?
Do you kiss?
Yeah, open mouth. No.
How visualizing is the show when you're writing music? Because I feel like the show itself is that after?
A little bit. I mean, definitely song first. It creeps into my mind, but definitely song first, because what you can do, especially in our world, is you can make the song and then you can make like an edit or like a mashup or whatever. So it doesn't have to be like this song needs to be a banger for Red Rocks. It can be like I can make the song and then I can figure out afterwards.
I'm gonna kill that guy.
I know.
Yard guy,
that
dude.
guy's gonna be gone here.
Want me to go down there?
I'll
Set him
find. I can
straight?
smell it too.
I'm calling him. I'm calling
Keep
it.
going.
Yeah, it's like I can write the song and then figure out later how to make it transfer to the bigger stage or whatever. There's maybe two songs on the album that are a little more like chill. That all like I'll edit a little bit to make something a little bit bigger.
Yeah, like the new record. Like I go to his house and I see him working on visuals sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I see him talking to the visual guy and like kind of how you're throwing the ball to those guys. It's so fascinating how important that is for the live show for you guys. Like
It is.
you guys kind of shot yourself in the foot doing this fucking 3D bullshit.
Yeah,
you know, like,
literally.
what the
totally
fuck you doing?
fucking did.
Like how do you even like go to the next level? You're gonna have to go to space, dude.
I mean, dude, we did it from the beginning because our first Red Rocks, we did projection mapping on the fucking on the rocks.
Oh, yeah, right.
and then that's like crazy, and then we went to 3D even, and people are like, I don't know, man, like I was there for projection mapping on the rocks. It's just like we kind of fucked ourselves from the beginning, but
You got
in a
fire?
good way, in a good way.
Lots of fire.
Is that Rowdy Town thing a lot of pressure? Like, is that stressful? Like,
No,
No,
Not really.
No.
It's like a fun.
No,
I feel
it
like
just
it's a fun
crushes.
stress.
I'm worried about a
Yeah.
summer
Yeah.
camp thing. Like
We look
the
forward.
guys
to
are like 3D fucking mapping.
Yeah.
You need your own thing. You really need like a Dollywood, like a Frasco wood or
Oh,
whatever.
No. Don't say that.
No, I don't need
That'd
another
be
Tell them
fucking.
to do
I don't
more
need another
things.
job.
You could just turn this house into that. Like start small.
no,
the
but
house.
enough
People
about
come to
me.
the
Let's
house.
talk about Rowdy
Yeah,
Town.
more people can know where he lives.
At Rowdy Town.
people hear about
September
me all the time.
27th.
But why did you pick Denver? Why did you start? Tell me like the process of Rowdy Town, like why you wanted to make this extravagant thing in Denver? Because you guys lived here. Or give us the whole thing of how it started.
Yeah. I mean, mostly, this was, Colorado was our home. We started in Boulder, grew there. Obviously, you want to play Red Rocks or hope that you can get to the point where you can. So it was always like, that was the dream at the time was like, how can we get to play Red Rocks? And then we didn't want it just to be like, oh, we do it one time. We wanted to turn it into like an event, something special. And
Yeah.
just naming it was like a whole process.
Yeah.
And
Oh, really?
yeah, just trying to, what do we call it? Big G Fest? Like, what the hell? What do we
Right.
name it after a song or whatever?
Right.
And at the time, the word rowdy in general was like used in our vernacular daily in our whole organization, Baruch, us, everything was rowdy. Yo, we're going to get rowdy tonight. You're going to get like, that was just part of it. And then, Kirk Peterson, who is now with Shappy, like at Brooklyn Bowls and stuff.
Yeah.
KP used to work with Ben at the Boulder Theater.
Oh, yeah.
And Kurt was like, why don't we take it to Rowdy Town? Like, that's what.
Oh,
and then when
really?
we were, literally, because we would say we're going to take it to Rowdy Town for like, we're going out Friday night. Like, we're taking it to Rowdy Town.
Right.
And then we had all these ideas, and that was like, absolutely, this makes the most sense. So
Then
that's
you're like,
when Rowdy Town was born, I guess. But
then you think about it, you're like, damn, this thing's taking off. How can I spend as much money as I can?
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
make
we're-
any money.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Exactly.
Don every year would be like, dude, you got to ditch the projectors. Like, you're just blown. Because at the time, that was a lot of money. I would love to go back to only spend what we spent in 2012 on a show.
Right.
It would be incredible. But yeah, we were like, oh, we could just.
We've always, it's always like,
Always try to
how do
innovate.
we do something unique and do something different? And
Yeah.
that's always come to spending millions of dollars
Right.
on other shit.
Does it cost that much money?
Well,
Oh,
over,
not per show,
everything
like
that
over,
we've spent over
the
time.
years.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you ever like look at that budget, like say like a whole touring, like you're about to go on tour again.
Right.
So like when you're like figuring out the budget through this weird time in the music industry, like how do you budget out a fucking Big G show in a 2025 era of touring?
Yeah, man, it's way harder than it used to be.
You just don't make any money. You go, oh, we're not going to make any money.
Yeah.
Great.
You kind of like, you tweak the formula, like Dom was saying. You're like, this is the new X, and we're trying to do things smarter, that makes sense for us and not be on a bus for 4 weeks straight playing we used to play 6-7 shows a week.
It's
Like,
crazy.
we were going,
I know.
and it was
It's
fun
insane.
back then, but like, we've been doing it a while. It's like, you can't, it's not sustainable.
No.
in
And
their late
now
30s.
everything's so much more expensive to do, so you can't. Yeah, we're in our late 30s, dude.
Like,
Thanks.
yeah, I
Mid
thought
to
late
late
20s.
30s.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know that looked great.
Sure.
But anyway, you got to tweak the formula. And
Well, the
figure out-
problem is no one's going to shows Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday anymore.
Nope.
yeah.
So, like, how are we supposed to keep an industry going when we can't play on Tuesdays? So that means you're flying in. That means you have 20 fucking flights
Dude,
all weekend.
crazy. Tell me about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, how much do you spend on flights? I
A
know
lot,
you know.
a
I know you
lot.
know. Just say it.
Well, when
We'll
we
bleep it
had
out.
the United corporate account,
I
it
know.
was less.
He's been trying to get
But yeah,
a corporate.
Dude, I don't know what
You don't
you're
have
doing. Like, you seriously, you would get freaking global services like right away,
Yeah.
which is huge. Anyway, it's a lot. It's crazy, but if you plan right and you kind of, there's like ways to figure out, okay, if we fly into here, we can rent a thing and go here, and that saves thousands of dollars each time, and then it adds up, and you're like, oh, we did make some money. Or
People don't realize how big a production your fucking show is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, you guys put so much intention into the fucking show. It's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm out there just put a couple lights up. I'm so
Right.
cheap with the fucking production.
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
It's like,
but you put intention into
You are the
what
production,
happens
though.
during the show.
Yeah, and
But
it's
so are they.
you're in a
Yeah.
different you're in a, it's a, you know,
Yeah.
our world's
Have you ever tried tell your fans, fuck y'all.
Yeah,
We're just
not
doing
doing-
just music.
We, you know,
The G acoustic.
we used to
G-acoustic.
we used to joke about like Rowdy Town. We're like, we spent so much on projectors. This was a long time ago that we could just blow, you know, 20 grand a night through confetti blasters into the crowd, and we'd save money.
Do you guys want projection mapping, or you want fucking $1 bills shot out of a confetti cannon into your face? Because if you just want that, we might as well, because you're gonna get
We could do
that's
that.
how much money.
So,
Oh,
and
wow.
save money?
Yeah.
So what about like
Or we'll do flashlights. Bring your own flashlight. That's the light show. You are the light show.
you could just buy them flashlights, probably.
That's true.
so what's your philosophy? Sorry, I'm talking inside.
No,
baseball.
no,
I
that's
love
great.
this shit.
It's fun, man.
People
What
get-
What is your philosophy when you go into a festival show versus production where you're in control? So what's your like? How do you?
Production wise or music?
Yeah, production wise and music wise. Like, what's your brain going festival versus like a headline Big G tour?
It's just usually shorter set, so you
Yeah.
just have to cram more stuff in there, kind of.
So
for
you're
the
building the
festival.
set, just kind of cramming it in.
Yeah,
Musically.
yeah, musically.
Yeah.
Then what about like projections and like?
Well, usually you get more stuff at the festival, so it's
Oh,
great.
really?
So you get
Yeah, they
kinda
have like
more-
the built-in.
Like the stage might be more built out, but
and you'll have
you
a
know,
video wall behind you.
yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah.
years ago we used to bring our like pods when we had the pods back in the day. We would like send the production out so that we could have like this special experience there.
Camp
But
Bisco, I think we did that.
Camp Bisco?
yeah, we played Bisco back in the day a couple times, but
I love that video. I love that picture of you guys playing on the milk cartons at fucking summer camp.
Playing on the
dude, on that the like
small
easy
ass
I was at
up,
that
the
set.
easy
Oh,
up
yeah.
tent.
I was there
And then look at like, you should just go back to that. Just it's the
Yeah.
milk carton tour.
during
It's
Yeah.
it's the
Dom was on like
economy.
the summer camp round catering table that
Yeah,
they
yeah.
had.
It
We
was
had
like
to drag
it would
one out.
move. Like
Yeah.
I'd play keyboards and it'd be like bouncing, and I'd be
Yep.
like, "This isn't
I was
fucking
at that.
working."
A young Nick.
I wasn't,
We're the same age.
yeah, I wasn't that young.
I mean,
I was drunk though.
He was 27.
He
back
would have
then.
been like 33 or
Yeah, yeah,
2,
something like that, yeah.
30.
Um,
Anyway,
That was a good one. I was like, what the fuck is
that was
this?
classic. When we rolled up, we called Ben to be like, bro, what? We give $500 and we're playing on a literal
During
easy
Humphreys.
up. It was
a
a
vibe though.
but it
It
was
was
it was
fucking
incredible.
raging.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, the set was like it was legendary
It was
for
the
us.
campfire stage, but it was like
Campfire.
before it was built
Yeah.
out and good. It was like a little tent.
Oh, it was like pallets with an
Yeah.
easy
Yeah,
up
yeah.
over,
Yeah, yeah.
like a
Yeah.
blue easy up.
but it's the same
But it-
area.
Honestly, we should do all the sets like that because it fucking popped up. It was almost in the round set. Everyone was just everywhere.
yeah,
I was,
people
cool.
on
Sunday. It
shit.
was on Sunday. I remember.
Have you been seeing that
Yeah.
All American Rejects? They're
Yeah.
just popping up at all these like house parties. and
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
It's unbelievable.
That's cool.
I mean, you have to kind of like we have to start thinking that way
Mm-hmm.
because like how we tour is not sustainable anymore.
Yeah, it's just
It's fucking bullshit.
it's weird because the hard part about it is there's like trajectory versus like you've been doing it for a while, people are on the come up, so there's all these like everything's happening a different way. So there's these people, if you're on the come up, well then you can like it's gonna work for your touring. If you're like you can like go up in rooms and it like the ideal way of touring how we used to will kind of work. But if you've kind of been doing it for a while, you're not like super hard on the come up, then you have to get creative. And so it's another one of those you have to reevaluate it at every point in your career and where you're at, depending on what you can do. And it's just super tricky.
You ever like? I feel like right before you start a tour, it's like that the woman who worked at Popeyes when they just created the chicken
Oh
sandwich.
yeah, right.
I don't.
And she's there sideline, just like, fuck. There's 1,000 people outside. How am I
what
gonna
was coming.
fucking execute this?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's gotta be a lot of pressure on you guys, right?
We've just been doing it for long enough. I think that yes, in theory, it is a lot of pressure, but you just can't
just
sweat
fucking
it.
do it.
You just fucking do it. man.
Everything else has pressure too, I guess. So it's
Yeah.
like just do something you like.
Yeah. Sometimes it's fun to figure puzzles out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever just like accidentally pressed the mute button?
Yes.
Really?
Oh yeah.
What's the worst one? What was the worst?
It just stops.
Oh, but you.
It's just
All-
like bing,
tell 'em about
and you're
all-
like, oh
all
shit,
good.
and then you're like bing, and then you just press it again.
What happened at All Good?
Oh, All Good years ago. That was when we were just on a computer setup, and it was like we were playing, and it was just on a regular folding table. You know, I just had my stuff on a folding table with a cloth over it, and we're like playing, and we get into this one part of this one song. It's like this big drop, and it's like bro, it's like crushing. You know, I'm like jumping up and down, and just like one leg of the table just goes boop, and all my gear. Keyboard, computer, audio unit just slides off the table, just slides off the table and just like lands on the floor, and the laptop closes, and I'm just looking at, you know, and it's like there's like a lot of people in the
It was
this
like
thing. I mean,
20,000
massive,
person, All
right?
Good, like the
Sometimes
biggest
the
All
crowd
Good.
loves it when
so
that happens.
so
Weird.
it slides down, right, and just closes, and I'm looking at it, and the music's still playing, and I was like, maybe it's just gonna keep going, and then all of a sudden it just stops.
Yeah.
And I was just like, fuck. And then, you know, I'm like, what do I do here? And so I was like, you know, I said something like, you guys made my laptop. Like, you know, everyone's like,
You're raging so hard.
You know, I was like, all right. So like, give us 5 minutes and we'll be back.
Oh
And
my
set it
God.
back up. And then
Yeah.
we went back to
I
it.
remember
Is
that.
it like slow motion when that shit happens? Like, no.
Oh, literally.
Absolutely.
And then I feel like the computer closing was like, I'm watching and I'm playing along, and then I was like, whoa, we're still playing. And then it stopped, and I was like, should I stop or should I keep going? Because sometimes it stops and then he's able to start it again, you know, within a couple seconds. So I can just latch onto the beat, or I can like do a couple fills. But this, I was like, I don't want to start a drum solo that I can't stop if I just start playing. And it's like, who knows
I
how
remember,
that
I feel
could have
like
been.
you did keep on playing for a minute and then just,
Maybe for a little, and then yeah,
Drum solo, finally.
That's fucking crazy. That's crazy. See, that's like,
that was wild. It was like 20. It was the biggest
especially when
All
you're
Good
fucking with
back
tracks
then.
and shit.
yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like, it's more freeing with that CDJ. It's like,
It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
it's like you don't
nice.
have to rely, like, God forbid it. Because, like, my boy's Little Stranger. Oh, yeah, you guys
Yeah,
did a track
we
with
got
him.
a Yeah,
Track
yeah.
with them on the new
Dude,
album.
sometimes Johnny's computer does not fucking
really?
work.
Yeah.
And it overheats.
Yeah.
He runs in Logic though. Live.
Mm.
That's pretty.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Oh, Dom, there's gigs that were so hot where the team would try to figure out before we had like fans, the fan thing for your computer. They would get a freaking Tupperware
Right.
and put ice and towels in it, and then rest the computer on top
You
of
know
this.
the restaurant bus tray?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bush.
They would just take a bag of ice and put it in the bus tray and then just set my laptop on top of it. Like this was in like
The fuck?
Tempe, yeah, and it was like,
Yeah.
okay, I think it's gonna work.
Are you
Yeah.
serious?
At like a hangout festival or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, we're at like a major festival.
So do you bring two laptops or like what's your
I
process?
did.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
was like
had
a
a little
redundant
backup.
thing that we had, but not for a long. I mean, not for a long time. It was
Yeah.
one.
Just
Yeah.
playing with fire,
Yeah,
boys?
just playing with fire
We
for
didn't-
sure. And
that's-
you know,
The fuck?
Bro, this is a Wild West back then.
Yeah.
Oh my
no different than
God.
your guitar pedals going out every show though. You know what I mean?
Hey, don't go there.
You only
Don't
have
go there.
one
I will fight you
keyboard.
right now.
That's every guitar player. Then.
No, it isn't. And don't go there, Nicholas.
Dude, I don't know one guitar player that isn't bitching about their pedals constantly.
I know. So tell me one good thing that you like about each other. Give me some. Let's do some band therapy right now. What are things? What are things you like about each other, and what are things you don't like about each other? I'm just kidding. Just like each other.
seriously.
Yes, I do. Because I want to know. Well, I'm very curious.
Hilarious.
Because I never get you guys.
I like Dom's
together.
smile.
Yeah.
His,
But like,
I mean,
has there any-
I love Jeremy's hair.
Dom's work ethic is unparalleled for sure.
but was
that's
there any
always been
time like you
inspiring.
thought like Big G was over?
What the
I mean,
real.
the first 6 months?
Just like, was there a hard moment? Like,
I mean, COVID. Yeah.
Yeah,
for
that's
what I
sure.
mean,
Yeah,
like-
yeah.
a lot of bands have the. I mean, there's 20 years. There had to have been a fight. There had to have been a fucking. You know.
you just trying to get all the dirty.
Ben Baruch, close your
Wow.
ears right now. No, I don't know, because I'm just trying to figure out like there's got to be like some points in our lives, our friendships, where it grows even tougher. Like maybe it's moving in with each other. Maybe you saw, like maybe Jeremy didn't take out the trash one day. You know, like shit
it's
like that.
it's like it's like any relationship or marriage or whatever. It's not obviously not perfect, but
Right.
I respect Jeremy and respect what he does, and that's the thing that makes it to be able to work through stuff and figure stuff out. And I'm honest. Maybe sometimes I'm too honest. I don't know, but I'm honest. I respect him. So I mean, we have that, and I think that's a big thing of being able to just keep it going. Even when things aren't perfect.
Right. That's what it's like. That you actually fucking nailed it in the head. Communication. That's what I'm learning about. I never used to communicate with Sean. And I'm asking this because there's a personally, like my relationship with Sean has been now 15 years. And like, I'm just trying to figure out how to communicate with somebody directly without offending them. So when you have these relationships for so long, like even with Ben Baruch, he's basically the third member of your band, dude. You've been together for so long. Can you be direct with him?
Yeah, I'm very direct with him, and and I've had issues and stuff. I just say, hey man, like he's easy to talk to in that regard. Of hey man, I need this, and he's like, cool.
He's a good listener.
I'll do my best.
One thing I love about Ben, his intention is he's a good listener.
It's a very stoic man.
Yeah, he's stoked.
You ever want to kick his ass? Give me some dirt. Give me some dirt.
No, I don't ever want to kick anyone's ass.
Have you ever fought
Sounds
anybody?
really nice. Do you not know that about Dom?
Have I ever fought anyone? No.
Never fought anyone? Have you ever fought anyone? I don't think you have either.
No, I got
Have you?
I've never fought anyone.
in like Hebrew school when
third
I was
grade.
like 10 in Hebrew
Ankle
school.
biter.
I bit someone's ankle and he kicked me in the mouth.
How did you get to his ankle?
He beat my ass.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you were on the
Towards the
ground.
end of the fight.
It was towards the end of
Damn.
the fight. He was talking shit about my mom or something. I just tried, and he
Yeah.
was way bigger than me, and he whooped my ass. And
for
then
it.
the last thing, I just tried to bite his ankle. And
That's amazing.
Actually,
Anyway.
back when I was in elementary school, I was playing a lot of basketball, and I was talking shit, and like I don't know, I like made a few shots, talking some shit, and one kid like held me back, and the other kid like punched me. But that was it though.
Yeah.
But then it was just like
That was it. One
Yeah, it
push.
was just like, and,
Well,
we
everybody's
kept,
had that
and then we
happen.
kept playing.
Yeah. We've all had that.
I've not had that.
Oh.
Is there any beef in the EDM world? Are there any like Tupac, Biggie beef? Like, do you
Wagyu?
Wagyu.
Wagyu?
Nice.
I don't think
I don't know. Not that I know of. I'm
it's more
sure
of like a
people are
love,
mad at each other.
peace and love
I know.
type
Yeah.
of a thing.
Boring.
Man, God
there
damn
beef?
it. Everyone's so happy.
I
in that
feel like
It was
There
like
was
Dead Mouse.
different-
Dead Mouse is like the guy who beefs with people.
Yeah.
really?
Yeah,
But he's so much better than everybody else, they can't really say anything to them.
Or is that why?
No, it's not. It's not like
No.
that.
No,
Like,
this-
yeah.
He's just like he's like the angry old man
Yeah.
of the EDM scene.
This is why he keeps a hat on or whatever.
I think he
a
kind of
mask
stopped
on.
wearing that. Hell,
No, he like does the shows minus the mask. Like
Yeah.
sometimes he'll do the mouse.
He'll troll
set,
too.
but-
He'll just play. Really
Yeah.
mean-
Yeah, he's opinionated,
Yeah.
He's got strong opinions. I'm sure there's beef that we just don't, know about. We're like in our kind of world.
Do you like when they call you the OGs?
Then that lets you know that you're old.
Original gangster.
Legend.
I can't-
You're like, oh, I'm old. Cool.
Old guys.
thanks.
is
That's
what it
fine.
stands
I'll
for.
take
That's
it.
Are you
pretty
cool with
cool.
that?
I don't care. I don't care.
This man is just calm, cool, collected. This
seen
is
my-
James Bond.
He's
dude.
like, have you seen my studio tour? I'm good.
No, it's like,
I'm just kidding.
Dom Studios.
you it's just like when you guys have kids, like you'll understand. I
Yeah,
think
Andy.
it's like
Don't you fucking put that danger on me.
it's just
I can't
like,
wait to see Andy.
Trying to get Andy to have a kid.
Okay. Oh, so let's talk about that. So you think you chilled out when you had a kid?
Well, I've been pretty chill, but it just puts a lot of things in perspective for you. I think
yeah.
about
Well.
what's important and what's
Any advice for Jeremy when he has a kid?
Jeremy will be a great dad if
You
he
would be a
ever
great
if he ever
He's
decides to
definitely
be
gonna have
one.
a college fund.
I'm gonna start at day one and compound interest.
this Airbnb. This is
Yeah.
yours.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
you
It's
will,
all gonna be
the money
yours.
will go to your-
Airbnb on Gilpin could all be yours.
Oh. You ever ask a collaborator to like collab on one of your tracks and just doesn't sound tight, so you just don't use it?
Yes, and vice versa.
Oh, really?
Mhm. Yeah, it happens all the time. People are like, "Hey, we should collab on something," and you like get to a point on the song, and then like it's like crickets, and
Yeah.
you like hit them up like, "Hey," and then they're like, and you don't hear from them anymore. And I think,
Ghost you, huh?
yeah, and I think
They ghost fucking dog?
no, totally, and
OG?
it
The OG?
Shit.
There you go. They better know.
No,
better.
it happens. And I think early on, I was kind of like, oh, you know,
Get offended.
but now I'm like, okay, it's cool. They aren't vibing with it. No worries. And you just move on.
What was the process like?
They're
with Little
wasting your
Stranger.
They were great.
was
They
really
were really
hard.
cool. We just had a
Okay.
few.
I don't know.
We just had a few Zooms together, and they did, yeah. And it was a little, you know, like it was like I love this part, more of this. Like I don't love as much, and cool. Go back, and I think they went back 3. They gave something, went back again, went back one more time, and then maybe went back the last time to do some like ad libs or something.
Is it hard to make a chorus for your type of music because it's always everywhere? It's always moving. Or do you have a chorus like in mind when you're writing songs?
Well, they it's interesting because when they recorded their stuff, they recorded a bunch of stuff, and they had sort of had a chorus that I didn't totally love, I think.
Yeah.
And I said, but there was a different part of their verse or little thing that they did where I was like, that's the chorus. I was like,
Right.
that's the chorus. And then I made an edit and was like, how about if this is the chorus, we do it like this, and then fill in the rest. And they were like, cool, got it.
Yeah.
And then went back, retooled it, and it was like epic. And they're super
They're
easy
so
to work
easy.
with.
I mean, John is
They're awesome.
a monster producer.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Like
really
he's a
good.
fucking real deal producer.
And we got to see their show. I got to see it for the first time at Florida Groves.
that show looked fucking huge.
Yeah,
for you guys, dude.
yeah, it was good for us, and it was good for them
Yeah,
too.
they had a great set.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're really awesome.
Great reggae band.
Yeah.
Let's go down memory row. I'd like to know about
Memory Lane.
memory lane.
Memory lane.
He doesn't know any words.
I don't know.
Frascoisms. I want to do a Frascoisms book.
He only knows
And
genitals. And
I asked dude, I asked Bo to actually write down some of the shit that you say because you combine so many
Oh, yeah.
I'm
words.
such a fucking idiot.
Dude, but
That's,
that's
the new
a
album.
legit
Memory
book.
Row, dude.
Anyway.
memory row.
we could take this off the podcast, Jeremy. I just have to ask
Oh,
him.
Jesus.
Tell me about the Jenny
I know.
Garth
I
era.
knew you were going to
Oh, no.
Tell
Wait,
me
can we
about
get
the
a-
Jenny
yeah.
Garth.
Go.
For our listeners,
She's
It
definitely
was-
listening. She's a tier 1.
she listens to every episode.
Everyone.
T1, baby.
For my listeners, have you remember that show 90210? Yes.
Like, no.
Dude, what a weird
How
time.
old?
What a dude! This blows my mind.
2012.
I still like sometimes at 2 a.m. when I'm thinking about Jeremy, this is one of my closest friends.
Jeremy,
this
like
is my
holding
fucking stuff.
Jenny Garth's kids
go-
on the. Like,
I go
yeah,
to Jenny
what?
Garth and Jeremy Salken
Stop.
fucking tabloids on Google.
Wow.
Give me your take on the Jenny Garth era with Jeremy Salken.
Shit. Oh, I get to give the take.
get the take.
Oh, yes.
I've heard
Outside
it.
perspective.
Outside perspective. What was it like?
That shit was crazy.
I fucking bet.
That shit was crazy.
I'm crying thinking about it because I think about it so much.
I mean,
I can't believe you think about it.
I
I
do,
don't know.
dude.
I don't know. Look,
Tell
I don't.
the saxophone
I don't-
story.
Yeah, I don't.
She was
You know,
sweet.
our world. Yeah, I don't know. Our
Fuck
our
was she doing at a jam band festival?
She was at ACL. She was at ACL, so it wasn't
No,
really.
she was on the tour bus, dude.
Well,
The whole
that was
thing- I know-
later. That's when we like
Later.
started met. But
Okay,
yeah, she
give
was
us
at ACL.
give us your perspective on this.
forgot about this.
because
I mean,
the
it was
band
just
was popping.
It was just weird because we're like doing this thing, and then there's this like other thing coming in. It was like one of these things is not like the other. You know what I mean? It's like it makes no sense, really.
God.
And
Oh my God.
you know, I see Jeremy's perspective being like, hey, I don't know, who knows? You never know, and maybe whatever. I don't know.
How do you know?
I didn't
Who am I to
really.
say now?
I didn't really see it because she was like a good bit older than you too. So I
9
was like-
years.
yeah, so I was
I was
like, look,
31,
I mean,
dude.
you know,
Oh my God.
You got to do
Jeremy was more
you
like
have to do
You
more on
got
the-
to do it.
She's from 90210.
yeah, right. But you know, there was just a lot of like, you know, she's really drunk and fighting, and then you know, the straw that broke the camel's back for me was like we're about to go on at in
Urbana.
in Urbana.
Oh, yeah.
Canopy Club.
standing side stage, and I'm there sitting there with my horn. She has her like red Solo Cup drink, and she's just like drunk, and she like drops it in the bell of my horn.
Oh my God.
And I'm just
I would
like,
murder
bitch, like,
her.
what the fuck
Oh
are
my
you doing?
God.
And
I
then
would-
And then, and then from that
bad.
point on, I was just like, stay away from me, basically. Because I didn't, that her fame, to me had nothing.
This is like later.
Not really. Maybe
did like
she
a
did
night.
one.
Yeah, like a
Jenny
night
Garth
on
was
the
in
bus.
Champaign, Illinois. That's so
Yeah.
funny to me.
I mean,
No, you're not
because
famous
for me,
anymore.
I'm like, look,
Like,
like
come
I
out
don't,
to
I don't care like
Urbana.
who you are because we're
No.
like this is like a whole
Like,
different
be
thing,
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't like how she was so fucking mean to him.
She wasn't that
You said when she was drunk, she was mean to you.
Well, yeah.
a little bit. I mean, who's
I'm
who's
protective
not
over
mean
you,
when they're
Jeremy.
drunk?
I don't give a fuck. No one's gonna
Thank
be mean
you.
to you.
She was. Yeah, I'm not trying to smear. It
was 10 years
It was
ago.
like it was
so long ago.
freaking 13 years
Shit.
ago, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I just think it's so funny that
Yeah.
the tabloids. And then,
I
and
had
then
fond
people
memories
followed
aside
him.
from some things.
People followed him to ice cream shops in Malibu. Like the whole thing is fucking.
She wasn't even that
crazy.
famous anymore, I feel like, at that point, was she?
She was always famous.
Yeah, you're right.
She
You're
was
right.
Yeah.
just
She's
bad
been
tabloid.
crushing it.
Plus, this
She's
is like
been
before there was
crushing
the
it lately.
800 million celebrities, too.
Anyway,
Yeah,
shout out to
Insta-
Jenny Garth.
Thanks, Jenny. Sorry for.
But don't you fucking touch his saxophone.
Don't put a drink in my saxophone.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
209.
never a good idea. That I was like, when he told me that, I was
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
oh god.
2-1 ho. What?
Any be nice. Any what about like horror fan situations? Like anyone like
Any stalkers?
any stalkers? None of that?
Not really.
You're a hot guy,
couple,
I'm good looking.
A couple
I'm a
years
hot
ago,
guy.
there was this one guy who lived like up in northern Fort Collins or something, and he was just clearly like mentally unstable, and he like I kind of like helped him get tickets to Red Rocks because he was like, oh, my kid and something, and then it just like it started getting really weird, where at one point I was like kind of worried like he was going to come to my house or something.
Whoa.
Because I had to just like cut it off.
What was he talking
Yeah,
to?
sorry
I
about
don't,
that.
I
didn't
don't
know about
fully remember. It just got really weird, like very like I can't even remember, but it was very like that was the first time I was ever like, okay, I'm kind of like nervous for me and my
was Nick.
family right now.
It was Nick.
Play the giant step solo.
Yeah. The giant stuff.
Can I please go to your concert?
That's so. I've had stalkers.
Nice.
But they know my address. 'Cause
Yeah.
my address is on Google.
Ooh.
I
And
shouldn't have said
Airbnb.
that.
They
Now
could
everyone's
literally
gonna be
rent
sad.
your house
I know.
Well,
and just stay here.
I know.
but
you
good
come
thing
home.
there is he won't be here if they rent it on Airbnb. So.
Yeah, but he could come home. That
Yeah. Now the
Someone's
cleaning
here.
crew will get him out.
that's true. They could be hiding.
What's your take of Derek from Pretty Lights?
Derek, classic. I mean, he's another
OG.
OG.
Old guy.
Do you think that like
Just kidding.
Pretty Lights
Gangster.
helped you guys in a way too, like them blowing
Absolutely.
up?
Absolutely. We were definitely like, we did a whole year there where we did a half a year touring with him, and this was pre-live band stuff.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, OG, and it's great to see him back. And
Yeah.
it's great to see him back with the live band and friends with a lot of those guys in the band. I'm in another band with Borum and stuff too. So it's
Butterfly Effect.
great. Butterfly Quintet.
Butterfly Quintet.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's good to see him working again because he's a great.
I was almost there.
That's an Ashton Kutcher movie, Andy.
Yeah, true.
Derek's definitely
He's a nice guy.
innovator, man. He's always trying to figure out like what can I
Yeah.
do that.
What
Yeah,
was that
that's
like
done,
when you
yeah.
got the nod? That was
Dude.
really secret.
Yeah, that was super sick to get to play on that. And I think, shout out Borum on that. I think Borum probably was in his ear a little about, I think they were trying to do something kind of special and Borum kind of got in his ear about having me do that. So it was really cool. Kind of gave me what they were looking to do, but there was so I knew there was a couple lines that I had to memorize, and that was easy, but the rest of it was really getting to play with them, just improvise with them full on, which was really fun. And
What'd you see? What's the process? I'm so curious about his process.
well, he's got he's got all the guys in the band, and then he has he's everyone's got their in-ears, and then he's talking to everyone the whole time. So it was cool because I had a couple melodies. So he'd be like, melody 1, like cool. And then he's like, Dom, go, and then I could just play. And he's like, okay, here we go, next part, so he's talking to
Oh, he's
everyone.
quarterbacking.
Yeah,
whole
he's
fucking
like
thing.
literally
orchestrating the whole
quarterbacking.
thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's how it is for for them the
It
whole
is.
time.
Yeah, Minner
Yeah.
was telling us about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Did that inspire you to kind of go off the Ableton?
No. No, not necessarily.
I think he still uses Ableton. Doesn't he?
I think he still uses Ableton.
He has to the way they
His is all his is all Ableton.
What about-
Abletoned out?
What's your take on Michael's productions?
Menor? OG.
He's the man.
OG.
There's
I
no
mean,
Pretty
you know,
Lights without
they,
Menor.
yeah, they started all that stuff together. And Mike's just a super sweet guy. I love him.
Yeah.
Love him. And great producer and
great.
just great like mastermind.
He has such a sound that's his own.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any production questions before we let these boys go back
No,
to their
I
beautiful
don't want to
lives?
ask people about Ableton production on a.
Oh, I think we hit it. We hit everything.
Where do you roll off your? I'm just kidding.
I do want.
I have a question about saxophone though. Do you
All right.
think that like there's like 4 to 8 people working as saxophone players because of you? Like, do you think that you kind of revitalized the saxophone, especially in our scene? Because I think you did.
Really? That's really nice of you to say that. Thank you.
I mean, I still would have been working. I'm talking about other people. I'm just kidding.
I don't think so. No, I don't. I think it was. I think I caught it early, but I think it was coming.
Yeah?
No, I
You think-
think.
Yeah.
But I don't
mean,
know.
the people like the Grizzlies of the world that
Yeah.
like, you know, back then.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't know. No, I don't. I'm just gonna say
Think he's
hard
being
no
humble.
on that.
Did Grizz rip you off?
No,
no,
absolutely not.
No way.
I think
Inspire.
Grant. I think
he's
Grant was
inspired
honestly
by a lot
doing
of
it at the
stuff.
same time I was
Yeah.
doing it.
You guys were doing this. It's crazy how that you two were the forefront of that funk stuff.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
when we met, it was like, oh, you. Yeah, I think he'd been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
Who else too was that funk like Floozies?
Yeah, but they're a little after maybe.
A little after
Grammatic, big time.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Wow. Look
But
at
a lot of that
Paper
was
Diamond,
a
maybe?
lot of the stuff early
Yeah,
on,
Alex had
especially
been
was
before that.
inspired by Pretty Lights because
Yeah.
you know he was doing the horn samples and everything.
He's
like
like the
that.
Grateful Dead of that.
Really?
They're fish.
really.
Nice.
Wow. That's
I'll be fish.
Nick.
Dom's Trey. We used to have a lot of Trey conversations.
What's your take on jam bands?
I love jam bands. I mean like I think that I was kind of stepped in that world for a little bit, and I don't know if that was particularly where I wanted to like.
Are you talking about the motet?
Just in general, yeah, because you know I was sitting in with people and doing all that kind of
Right.
stuff, and
The Gerlach method, we call that.
yeah, right. I don't think I definitely wanted to like dig my heels in there and like stay there. Sometimes I'm like
Yeah.
it could be fun, but I for me it's a little more like I'd rather do it in like the jazz world than I
Yeah.
would in the jam band world. I'd rather be like doing jazz clubs versus like
Right.
doing rock clubs playing jazz.
Those scenes used to overlap a lot better too, jazz and jam bands. There used to be a lot more creative, like
Right.
Soul Live, like those Ulu kind of things back in the day. Like they would come out of like the New York loft sort of art scene, but that doesn't happen anymore for some reason.
Yeah, but as like an improviser, I love jam bands and I love the like, you know, when I left New York, it was like I'd go to sessions in Brooklyn and it was like no one played anything. We didn't like have music. It was just like, hey, you want to play? Like beep boop beep boop, boop.
Right.
And then 45 minutes later it's like, all right, see you later, and you just played whatever for 45 minutes. So I love that spontaneous aspect of the jam band stuff.
Yeah.
That's like my
We need like that Medeski Martin Wood thing to come back a little bit.
Yeah, I
That's-
do miss
I
that.
agree.
Yeah.
I do miss
Really
that.
healthy
That was the
for the
best,
music part of
best
it.
period of time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it a little bit every once in a while on the side shows, but I don't
Yeah.
really get a really dig into it. Someday.
You heard it all. Big G. The only beef they have is with Jenny Garth. Everyone else is fine. Thanks for being on the show, guys.
Hey,
I really
appreciate it.
appreciate it.
Hell yeah.
Thanks,
Um,
guys.
I love you, Jake. Do
Love you too, brother.
you want to talk a little bit about your endeavors? We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
You're gonna have your own
We
episode.
can do part 3 later.
Promote your business app to a bunch of fans.
But my question is, what do you want people to come out of this new record? Like, what do you want? What's your take on it?
Yeah, you know, I think it's I think I'm super proud of the you know, the album and the work and the songs, and I think that I just want people to just enjoy it and really catch a vibe off it. It's a good summertime album, so a lot of great songs on there that people can dig and just enjoy it.
What's the date it actually comes out?
Friday.
Friday. Okay.
Yeah,
So this will be it. It'll be
We're
out.
releasing this on Tuesday.
It's out
so it
already.
comes out.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah,
Right,
so it'll
yeah.
be out.
Good. Well, congratulations.
Fluorescence.
The album's
Oh,
out
yeah.
3
What's
days.
it called? What's the album called?
Fluorescence.
Fun.
What was the hardest record to create out of all your records?
The first one.
next
Yeah.
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 Why? What happened on the first one?
It's just the first one, you know.
Oh.
It's your first,
Yeah.
the first time I've
Are you a
ever.
perfectionist like that?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
definitely.
This is the first record I became a perfectionist on, and it's getting the best reaction ever. I used to just like put out records just because I had to put out records,
Right,
just, like,
right.
every year. And the first time I actually took my time, people gave a shit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's
it's,
really
about
it's a
attention.
great
there's
record.
something to be
too.
said
You should
for-
take your time.
I'm
It's
proud of you
worth
for
it.
that.
Thanks,
but you
bud.
should-
There's something to be said for
worth
both
it.
sides of that too, though. I think.
Intention.
Yeah. No, like not being a perfectionist.
Spontaneity.
But like also like
Yeah,
how do you like
I
not
know what you
get-
mean too.
I know last question.
You're good.
sorry.
You're good. Yeah.
How do you not get in your head of not just wanting to keep fixing the song and we'll keep fixing the song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When do you know it's done?
When you know it's done.
You just got to call it.
Gotta
You just
call
got to call it. And it's like, sometimes I've listened to it so many times. I'm like, okay, this is it. I don't care anymore. Like
Right.
I've listened to it 1,000 times.
That's
like,
why you
I'm
don't like
not-
it. It's like that's why people think they're ugly because they see themselves in the mirror every day and they're used to it.
Or
You know what I mean?
and it's probably a blessing to Jesus fucking Christ.
Let's go into that a little bit. Nick.
How do you tell me how you really
Tell
feel?
more about,
No, it's like it's a
Hey.
phenomenon. That, like,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
people like other people see you as more attractive than you see yourself because they don't see you every 10 minutes.
Or it's like it's kind of a blessing in disguise to have a kid. Like now you could kind of force yourself to like,
Yeah.
my kid is about to shit himself, or like
well, my kid's
Why
6
is it
now.
always
like-
pooping?
His kid's
Everything
like
is
a second
pooping.
grade.
Yeah.
My kid is
Not an
he's-
infant.
He's
Oh,
6.
kids
He's
don't-
gonna be in first grade, so he doesn't.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he's not shitting himself anymore.
Yeah.
If he was, I'd have bigger problems.
If he is, that's okay.
But I love that's your analogy of
Yeah.
like what me having a kid is basically a kid just walks around. Oh,
Yeah.
my kid's shitting himself. I need to go in there.
Everywhere.
Yeah. Andy thinks people are either babies or 30.
How's your kid now? 30?
you are so true.
Yeah.
I'm crying right now.
Is he old enough to buy tickets by himself? He's a baby. He shits
Eating
himself.
solid
Oh.
foods yet?
Yeah.
At 6.
Yeah,
Well,
dude, he
6.
loves
Right, we hope
Chick-fil-A.
so.
This kid's a wild card.
I'm fucking crying right now.
He loves music. Has he could play anything yet?
A little bit. A little
get
Is
him a
bit.
that
horn?
in at Red Rock?
Yeah, he
for
can.
the
He
last
can like.
3
He
years?
can like play sax,
Get him a
but
YAS 23.
his hands just aren't big enough to.
Oh,
get
yeah,
all-
yeah.
Will he be a nepo baby?
Well, it's a
Hopefully.
nepo baby.
Like him playing
Like
saxophone,
he'll inherit like
inherit
the music.
the big G. Like
Yeah,
you'll hand off to
lineage.
him.
I'm happy to. I definitely I don't force it on him. I like kind of leave it there for him to have if he wants to explore. He's definitely really into art. He's like really doing some really great drawing, painting type of stuff. We've heard from his art teachers and things like that that he's like crazy at math. His teachers are like, I don't know what's up with this kid in math,
Oh,
but he's like,
cool.
so we'll just like, I obviously don't want him. I don't want to be, you got to be a saxophone
Yeah.
playing DJ, I'm just like,
Who knows if that
hey,
really
find what you're
exists?
good at. I try to teach him the things about working hard, being passionate, doing what you love, and that, and like leave the rest to him. But I hope that I would inspire him,
Because he's in first grade, Andy, not 2 years old.
Yeah.
Yes. Right.
Well, when Andy was first grade, he was already booking shows.
yeah.
Emo
He already
shows,
had like
some
a
garage. Yeah.
Under
Rise
fake
Against
name.
is playing guys, and Andy booked it. He's getting 10%. He's 6 years old.
At third grade, I was selling laser pens.
Oh yeah.
Really?
And I got in trouble because I didn't give him the laser pens. My dad made me give the money back and I have to go to the house and apologize.
Wait a second. You never gave him the product?
Well, the first round I
That's
did. But
fraud.
the first round I did, but then
Oh.
a lot of people wanted laser pens. And I'm like, fuck, I can't go to Alavera Street in Little Mexico. I gotta ask my dad to take me to fucking, now it's a business. It's not like.
Where did you grow up?
Los Angeles.
Oh, you did Los
Yeah.
Angeles.
In the valley.
So, but you Vegas, right?
Vegas, yeah.
Yeah.
What a weird.
Same hustle.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
everyone
yeah.
moved to LA.
Mhm.
Everyone from LA and our ages moved to Vegas.
Yeah, yeah.
Living
Like-
growing up in Vegas is wild to me. It's like you grew up where people go on vacation.
Right.
Now it's like a fucking big ass city.
Mhm.
All
So
the
different.
sports teams, like
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
I was wondering, like, I'm like, all these sports teams. It doesn't make sense that all these sports teams are moving there. And then I realized, like, it's
There's so much
fucking
money.
little LA.
It does
Yeah.
make sense.
It
yeah,
does.
Yeah, it does. Because they got the
We should move
money
to Vegas.
Yeah.
to back it too, and they got the space. Because
Last
it's just-
question.
Yeah. No.
NBA,
More questions.
NBA
Mhm.
prediction for next year.
Man.
I mean, you my Laker guy.
I know. What a
It's the
tough,
Laker prediction, not an
tough
NBA
season,
prediction.
right? Tough season. It was like,
Well, the
were
Nuggets
kinda
too.
like-
What's Joker gonna do? Give me one last thing. We'll get out of here.
I mean, I think that the Nuggets I think they need to rip it apart
Me
a little
too.
bit, if they want to have some
Michael Porter's
success.
gone.
He's got to be.
Yeah.
Even Jamal Murray, maybe.
Lakers.
Porter.
I kind of just feel like they need to stick with it a little bit, but
Yeah.
they need a big guy. They got to have a big guy in there who's really
I
going
see them
to.
going after Walker Kessler.
They got a top 5 guy in the league, so that's a good place to be.
I mean, OKC next year is going to be tough again.
Oh, they just ripped the Bandit off that last game.
But the
Yeah.
Pacers, right? You're a Pacers guy, right?
Cavaliers, but
Cavaliers,
I'm
that's
into
right.
the Pacers right
But
now.
that because no one saw that coming,
No.
and I mean, how many times Tyrese like hit the game-winning shot? What is it, like 5 or 6
Yeah.
times during
Yeah,
the
yeah.
playoffs?
Yeah, he's awesome.
Insane.
They play really good
But
team
they're-
basketball. It
they're
fits
fucked
Indiana
now,
really
though.
well.
Now that he's out or he's
Yeah.
not 100%, they're fucked.
Yeah,
but
they're fucked.
but
Thunder, a better
big
team.
ups to OKC. I mean, they're going to be tough again. I mean, Boston could be tough again, although they might get ripped apart.
Dude,
They're going to
Thunder
get
have the
ripped apart.
7th
They're-
pick in the
they're
draft.
tax. What?
They have the 7th pick in this coming draft.
Who?
Thunder.
I know it's crazy.
It's like they've still beat
Cleveland,
Picks.
Cleveland coulda. It's tough. It's just hard when the
You can't
playoffs
win
hit.
You can't win playoffs with a 6-foot star.
No, you can't.
I mean, you saw that with Donovan Mitchell.
They're going to trade
Yeah.
Garland.
Hater.
All right, guys, get out
All
of
right,
here.
all
I
right.
love you.
Love you, buddy.
safe. Grab Big G's new record. And they're our close friends. I mean, Jeremy, Sweet Angel Prince is in the building.
Sweet
And I got-
Angel Prince.
Angel
and we have
Prince.
Dom. This I've never had this. I've never
OG.
seen the OG. Keep doing
Old
keep
guy.
doing the Lord's work, boys. And let me know if you want me to babysit your kid.
Okay, we'll do.
Yeah.
He'll shit himself.
You've just tuned in to the World Saving Podcast with Andy Frasco, produced by Andy Frasco, Joe Angelhow, and Chris Lorenz. Please help us save the world by subscribing and rating the show on volume.com, Apple, Spotify, or wherever you're listening so we can spread the word and save the world. Follow us on Instagram at World Saving Podcast for updates, for tour dates, merch, and whatever crazy special event Andy thinks of next. Check out andyfrasco.com.